So hi guys, how are you guys doing today? I'm gonna be doing something a little different today. We're doing a trade recap with a backtesting session. So this is my trade for today. Um, Looking back on this, I wouldn't say it was an awful trade, but it was just more in terms of like bare minimum. Like for example, this was definitely more like a bare minimum mech model. I wanted us to come up and rebalance this range by hitting this 5 minute gap on NQ after coming lower and tapping a high time frame DOL with an SMT. Um, but it definitely was just bare minimum. So let me take you through like the whole situation of this trade. Where are we right now? Okay. So let me just come back. Start new to market open. So originally my bias was I was looking for shorts originally. Like I say, we swept this previous, I think this previous a weekly high with an SMT on ES. ES is printing higher in the all-time highs. NQ is below this high right here. All-time highs is all the way up here. Therefore, we were in high time. Oh my god, I'm having an aneurysm. So we were in like a high time frame SMT, and we had just displaced through, easily displaced through a 4 hour bullish PDA after sweeping sell side liquidity. So at this current time, we're respecting this 4 hour. So this genuinely, in my opinion, looked good for shorts. We had stack lows below. On top of that, like you could argue that we have displaced lower now, continuing higher. We inverse this hourly gap. Let me just skip to market open. Let's say it looks like we were displacing this hourly gap, respecting this hourly gap as well. So necessarily we were currently respecting bullish on like lower time frame, but overall high time frame we were definitely in bearish. So I'll be honest, in my opinion, I preferred shorts, but either direction would have been pretty good. Like we were respecting bullish on the hourly time frame currently. We did have this 4 hour gap above with this 1 hour internal, sorry, 1 hour gap above with this 1 hour internal high, intermediate high, sorry, and then previous hit day high above. And ES is exactly the same. So yes, we are bearish currently, but we just inverse this 1 hour, and we do have deal well above. So longs look cool, but shorts look better. So at this point, I just wanted to wait and see what we did for the day and where price went our market open. So let's jump straight into this. That was my daily bias. When it came into the trade, we opened higher. So sorry, we opened lower. We just shit the bed, taking out all this sell side liquidity, displacing through bullish PDRAs. Um, when shit like this happens, I wanted us to come up and rebalance the leg, especially after sweeping the sell side liquidity on NQ. But on, if you can see on ES, we were dramatically above, making a massive SMT right here, a massive bullish SMT from this low up to this low, and then on NQ this low down to this low, as well as a low time frame SMT as well. So ES was definitely extremely bullish. If we had a look at ES on higher time frame as well, we came down and we swept this 1 hour intermediate low inside of a 1 hour gap with great displacement out of it with that SMT as well. So in my opinion, I was just like, yeah, this shit has got to go higher and at least rebalance this range. ES came down, we swept all this sell side liquidity, and then the 15-minute time frame we did tap into this 50-minute gap with the 50-minute intermediate low inside of it. Obviously, you can see now that we displaced through it, but at the current time, we were holding and respecting that gap. And then from there, what I saw was an instant displacement through a 2 minute IFEG, with a 5 minute to target above. So what went wrong with this trade? Well, first of all, we can look at just low time frame structure. So necessarily this 2 minute IFEG was the first um, inverse fair value gap of the day. Obviously going over the trades, on low time frame wise structure, we don't have much going on right here. Like, let's take it back to when we actually took our entry. This 2 minute inverse first inverse of the day for one, and then for two, we have no low time frame structure. And not only that, what makes this trade probably is like this really decreased the rating for trade is that look what we have here, a 50-minute equal low. I'll be honest, I didn't even see this, and this is why these trade recaps are really important to me. Like I don't care if anyone takes the piss out of me, if anyone doesn't even watch this, but it's the fact that I'm making a journal about this, and that's what matters to me. So we actually had these high time frame equal lows below us, and that if I actually, to be honest, if I saw that and if I did recognize that we did have them 50 minutes equal lows, then I definitely would have faded this trade and at least waited for some more manipulation. So even though yes, we did have great displacement through this 2-minute IVG, current high time frame support from an hourly gap in ES with an SMT, and then a 50-minute PDA on NQ, despite us inversing this gap really healthy, I the idea that we had these 50-minute equal lows below us at our stop just kind of sums up how buns this trade really was. Um, we should have manipulated lower, taken the stomp hunt, and then taken the trade from there. That probably would have been the best option. On top of that, it was we were going to open a 15 minutes soon on here at 10 a.m. Just want to see how the 10 a.m. candle should have printed really. But yeah, that's really it. Like, I mean, even if we watch it out, we just come down and then generate LR. Then we sweep the 15-minute equal lows. ES is obviously still remaining really bullish. And now we have an SMT at the stop hunt as well as the high time frame SMT. So that just gives further confirmation of what we're doing here. And then you could have taken this trade based off a bit of discretion, for example a 4-minute, or even just taken like maybe I think Paddy took like a 1-minute IFVG, which I mean it's his discretion, but we did actually have a 5-minute gap here. So obviously once this 5-minute candle closed, we were already operating within the 15-minute gap that we formed. So even if you waited for valid confirmation within the trade, I still probably would have faded it because we were now operating within a 15-minute bearish gap. And as we can see, price generally, when we reached that deal well, we just chopped and then we shit the bed. So yeah, you would have gotten stopped out break even here. I'm pretty sure Blake got stopped break even. But yeah, in terms of my trade, genuinely just recognizing conditions, still heavily uncorrelated with ES, and NQ, still pretty uncorrelated. Um, First IFVG of the day, no stop hunt, bare minimum mech, and then 15-minute equal lows below. So in terms of key takeaways from this trade for me is when we see this big bearish legs down and we are suddenly seeing the first inverse up, we fade that and wait for some sort of manipulation lower to then form more low time frame structure like this, maybe generate some LR and then take the inverse from that instead. That way we've had a stop hunt and then we've also had accumulation before continuing higher. So from now on, we need to wait for some sort of accumulation before we take our inverse fair value gap. That way we can take a more valid and well structured setup rather than rushing into trades and taking 2-minute inverses off a very bearish leg. Clearly, like we don't even have to rebalance this range if we don't want to. I think if I generally did see these 50-minute equal lows, it definitely would have been a fade for me. But it's just one of them things where I haven't recognized it, and obviously I'll make sure I do recognize it in the future and wait for the stop hunt as well as the low time frame structure. So that's my trade for today. Honestly, not the best. I did lose. I did actually risk quite high on this. Instead, I used minis instead of micros, which was probably just a bit silly from my end. But like I say, it's like this is all trading's all about learning lessons. So yeah. So with that being said, I'll just move over now onto backtesting. So I backtested a week yesterday. Like I say, I do a week a day. I backtested with the accountability group, and we did hit this nice winning PDI trade model. Let's see if we can get this up here. We accumulated, tapped in with 50-minute PDA, nice little 1-minute IFVG to the upside, targeting accumulation zone highs, or 1-to-1. Um, Pretty simple. Nothing really much to note. But yeah, high time frame bullish was all-time highs, low time frame accumulation, speed with LR with a tap in a high time frame 15-minute PDA with a 1 hour bullish gap to support, and then a 1 minute IFE displacement with a DOL higher. So therefore, we can target our accumulation zone highs for 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Pretty nice trade. Um, for the rest of the week though, honestly, we didn't really have much at all. So, but let's see if we can get something today. Let's get this started. And like make up for our flipping loss, the fucking buns trade, but just one of them things. Let's see what we do, and let's get started. Right, so we're on the 18th of August now. We don't have any news today. We do have news the next day. Let's quickly mark out this chart. So we've got 9:30 open right here. Yes, 9:30 open. So on the forward time frame, we seem to be moving pretty choppy, but it looks like we're moving in a bearish downtrend. My DOL would definitely be these lows down here. Maybe not for today, but just in general, these are decent DOLs to come to. Um, but like I say, we got to also be careful because we are at all-time highs, and we do have these stacked like high time frame LR above. So, but currently, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm bullish. Sorry, I'm pretty sure I'm bearish. We have this 1 hour intermediate high here. We could, if we can come up, tap that, and then move lower. That'd be pretty cool. We've also got this 1 hour high up here as well as this high. Like I say, we do have decent LR above, but because we are in a bearish downtrend right now, I do just want to see bearish movement. If that, I want trend is your friend, so I don't really want to be trading against that. ES is looking a little different though. We have this SMT at the low, and we are now respecting this forward gap as well. So if we begin recorrelating and moving higher, therefore ES is likely the leading index, and we can presume that NQ is also going to come higher. So that's definitely something to be aware of, but something I'm not going to favour as we trade an NQ. I want to make sure my bias is based on NQ, but it's definitely something just to keep in the back of our minds and see what we do today in general. I say this is like nice stacked LR down here as well. It's kind of obvious that price are at least going to take out these draws today. So we can just mark out this as sell side liquidity and then go from there. So we've just swept a high, tapped into a 1 hour PDA in a bearish downtrend, sell side liquidity below as well as 930 lows. This is looking like a nice little mech to take. We've had our stop hunt as well, which went into the gap. See what ES is doing. ES retreated even deeper into this gap, necessarily creating an SMT as well. This looks like a nice little trade to take. And what was the highest time frame inverse? So we do have like this 4 minute down here, what we need to be aware of. So if we take this, we're probably gonna have to break even quite early. Just gonna aim for this first draw. Yeah, stacked LR below. there's 1 hour, swept London high. Yeah, I think this looks nice. I want to take this. I want to go break even here because we're at the 4 minute. Tapping at that 4 minute gap now. Also tapping at the 5 minute. Yeah, so valid break even point for me. Stopped at break even. Not a bad little, I would say I really like this trade. It's unfortunate that we got stopped out of break even. The only thing it lacked was obviously that highest time frame inversion. But the fact that we created a new leg and able to get in early made it quite decent. Like literally like stop hunt with a tap into a PDA are usually quite good mech models to take, as we have that low time frame structure as well as a 930 low. This is 930 Devil's Mark. No, it looks like we have a tiny wick there. But this is like stacked LR, and I expect our deal well to get taken out for today. So let's see if we can get some sort of re-entry here, potentially. Oh my god. Let's retract. Wow, bro. Oh my god. Suppose we were right about our deal well. Quite frustrating though. Yeah, man. Wow. Bro. Didn't sweep the sell side. Not delivering from any bullish gaps. Bearish and high time frame. After respecting a 1 hour. The only thing I would want now is some sort of continuation. But whether we even get that is just... could be unlikely. We do have this 5 minute open right here. If we can tap with this 5 minute, like, there's no way we don't take out this deal well, right? Like, equal those in ES as well, right here. And their 15 minute equal lows on ES. Like, I still expect us to come lower and sweep them lows, so let's see if we can get a tab into a 5 minute gap, and then we can go from there. Especially with the 1 hour support. Nice. We are operating within a 2 minute here. Is that 3 minute? Ah, we do have a 3 minute gap there. And we're operating within a 4 minute. Alright, okay. See what we do here. Didn't close through the 4 minute gap yet, fortunately. Shit, man, we're just chopping. DS sweep that high. We made it SMT at the high. Maintain the 5 minute gap. No shit, we inverse that 5 minute gap. Wow. 15 minute? Nah, bro. Bro, that shit's so annoying because that first trade was genuinely, that mech was so nice. And then we just went in and hit break even, didn't we? So, but I mean, there's nothing we can do. Like, as soon as we hit that 5 minute, like, we don't know if we were going to respect that 5 minute or come through it. We just really didn't know. Price just continued higher. Resweep at the high. Crazy. Do we have another 5 minute? Yeah, shit the bed, bro. Um, it's like 10:53. Do I really want to be taking a mech long at 10:53? Top of that, we're in a 5 minute as well. Yeah, bro. Shit's quite frustrating actually. Um, just in like general, like this trade was great. It's quite frustrating that just didn't play out. But it's just one of them things, really. There's nothing we can do about that. My only question is, we close like, is that the 10:40 candle? Maybe we could have not of went break even there, especially when we inverse the 5 minute. It's just at that time of this candle we were operating within the 5 minute gap. So yeah, that definitely could have been better, but just one of them things. Really good setup. Support from a high time frame PDA. Stop hunt into a PDA. Then a nice little 1 minute IFVG displacement through that. With beautiful DOL below. With this LR as well. Shit, if you put your TP at this low, you would have been edged to fuck. Right, I just journaled that trade, but now I've just moved quickly on to the next day. So let's just mark out our market open here. First of all, there we are. And then what we're doing on the high time frame. Looks like we're still printing lower. It's quite choppy though, like we're stacking loads of high time frame LRL to the upside, but we can't presume long until we start displacing through bearish PDAs and delivering from sell side liquidity. Right now we're delivering from this 4 hour gap and continuing lower, so we just gotta presume bearish until proven wrong right now. We got these stacked sell side liquidity right here, which could be good, decent little DOLs for today, as well as this 1 hour intermediate high and this 1 hour intermediate high as well. If you look, none of these lows are inside high time frame gaps either. Like even we've got this, like none of these lows are inside any sort of significant PDA levels, like at all. So I'm not really bothered about taking a trade from up, like longs up to these highs. I would want us to take shorts down to them lows. So we are currently already operating within a 15 minute gap, and we have just swept this 5 minute intermediate low. Oh my god. This generally might just be a no trade day already. Shit the bed from market open. None any sort of high time frame PDAs. Looks like we're shooting for these fucking lows now. Let's mark these out real quick. What's ES doing right now? ES doing the same currently. Ripping lower. What's good about ES is ES is like right next to this 4 PDA. Wow. Operating within this 5 minute gap. DOL lower. ES didn't hit that 4 hour, but is continue higher. What have we got support from? We've got support from a 15-minute PDA. And then this hourly gap as well. So we do have high time frame support. It looks like we are trying to continue lower towards these DOLs down here. We are inside this 2-minute gap currently. That inverse is just so strong. I'd have to just take it with a bit of discretion. I can't lie, I've always been cooked on 5-minute shorts, or well, any sort of 5-minute continuations. But like these DOLs are so obvious lower, as well as yes, we have this like untapped 4-hour, which is like, there's no way we don't hit this. You know, like because currently we're delivering from absolutely nothing. So for us to come down and then sweep this 4-hour low just makes so much more sense to me than leaving it just there, you know. I think I want to take this. Like, we inverse the highest inverse. We inverse. Fucking hell. Sorry, it's been a long day, guys. We inverse the highest time frame gap of the current leg, and I have pretty good discretion in this trade. We have obvious deal wells lower. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a short here. Stops above the swing high, but I'm gonna target this first deal well, and then go break even at this low right here. So let's see what we do here. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go at the CE of this wick. Oh. And then obviously these accumulation zone lows lower, or sorry, not the accumulation zones, these swing lows lower, and then I'm going to target that DOL on the higher time frame, which is this one right here, which I believe that will sweep through. So right here, and then break even at this internal swing low. So break even there. Stopped out break even. What we're doing on higher time frames. Like we aren't delivering. Like it's ES still hasn't tapped that 4-hour. ES still hasn't tapped that 4-hour. Like the DOL is just so obvious that it's lower. Let's see what we do here. It's almost 10 a.m. as well, so we could form that 15-minute and then get like a 50-minute con. So if we can like no bullish 5-minute gap. So we've got this 50-minute now here. If we're able to like accumulate a bit, then get some sort of manipulation in this 50-minute with an IFEG, that would look pretty cool for shorts. Yeah, nice. It's literally exactly what I wanted. Price is moving pretty slow here, guys. We do have that 3-minute, 4-minute, which we didn't even close through. Took more and more buns. Operating within a 5-minute bullish gap right now as well. Also, it looks like we're in discount of range as well. Tap into the almost OTE of range as well. It's looking great. It's just the inverse is looking a bit naff right now. still haven't inversed this gap. I want us to create like a new leg now. Oh my god, bro. You fucking kidding, bro. Oh my god. At least our DLL was correct for the day. But yeah, we just didn't have any sort of entry here, like... I think we did actually inverse that 5-minute gap, unfortunately. But like for us to take, what's that, 10 minutes to inverse a gap just makes me a little like, I just don't know if I would want to take that. 5-minute inverses always cook me as well. So like the idea of me taking that just probably put me off anyway. So, but it is what it is, no worries. Interesting to see what we do now though. Five-minute target. Right there. I mean, I wouldn't take this mech, but yeah. Right, anyways, next day. So still like no winning or losing trades currently of the week. Like, price action hasn't been great. It's like we had that trade obviously the day before that we've just done, which was good, but got stopped out of break even again after hitting the swing low. Didn't seem to get a re-entry except from that 5-minute inversion, which I wasn't keen on taking, as 5-minute inversions are not my strong point, especially when it comes to continuation trades. So I just decided to fade that and just leave it, especially when it takes us 10 minutes to inverse the candle close, like on a 5-minute. Like, is that really the best thing I want to take? No, not really. So I'm okay with fading that, but let's just see what this Wednesday brings now. Right, so literally just, we didn't sweep this sell side liquidity. What is ES? ES is just miles higher. Ugh. So we're in like a crazy bullish S&T from this low. NQ isn't really delivering from any sort of gap. We have this low right here, these stack lows on the forward time frame. We've just inversed a 4-hour gap. Probably is tapping into a bearish one, yes, as I predicted. In my opinion, this DOL is obvious to me. I want us to take shorts to this DOL, then for us to move higher and complete the high time frame bullish S&T with ES. But we're gonna presume longs right now. Like, we're delivering from sell side liquidity sweep. We just gotta be mindful of our DOL and where price wants to go for the day. Like these highs. These highs, which are relatively equal. Like, there's quite a bit to go off here. And the DOL looks really nice, like this 15-minute intermediate low. Let's see what we do here. This could generally go either direction. Like, these DOLs are beautiful, but obviously we've just inversed a forward gap. So we could therefore tap. Yes, right. This is cool. Tap the 1 hour. The only issue here is that we can continue lower, so if we could like get like a stop hunt and then continue a bit lower. Nice. See, this looks quite nice. We do have this 1 minute up here. Anyway, so nice. See, this looks better now. If we can start getting like bullish closures, this would be a nice little mech. But I mean, oh, we just fucking shit the bed. It's one or the other. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. So now if we look at the 10 a.m. candle, we displace through all these bullish PDAs. But clearly, our next strong liquidity is clearly down here. So I would want continuation shorts down to these DOLs. Let's see if we can somehow form. We do have this 15-minute up here. We do kind of have hourly support, so we could necessarily take potentially a 5-minute continuation, but I would want us to like come up a bit higher at least, because we are really premium right now. Or we just take our deal well. There's the 4-minute time frame. Kind of obvious DOL here. Just in my opinion, like does it lack, like we are really premium, and does it lack high time frame support? Like what are we really delivering from here? Like a 1 hour gap from 8 a.m. from like London session. That's what we're kind of respecting right now. But I'll be very, very shocked if we don't take down, at least take out this DOL, because we're not even operating within any sort of high time frame gaps right there. Yes, we're inside this 1 hour, but with this, like, why would we not come down a bit lower, sweep more liquidity in order to go higher, you know? Yeah, I mean, definitely not a bad trade, like a little 5-minute con with a 4-minute inverse. We have this IFEG right here. Short here, stops at the swing low potentially. Swing high, sorry. And then I'll probably just target like a 1-to-1. Or even just, yeah, just target this, obviously my DOL for the day. Stops above this swing high. Let me take this an NQ. Wait, what? Is the DOL close on ES? Wait, what the fuck? Yeah. Am I tripping? Oh. I'm generally so fucking stupid at times. Right, so stops above the swing high, 5-minute con, delivering from a 1 hour gap. Great DOL below. Let's see what we do here. I'm gonna go in here with 5 contracts. And I will be going break even at this internal low. Break even there. Nice. So a nice little 5-minute con there. Like I say, like we are so bearish. It's obvious that we are going to take out this DOL on high time frame. This 4 hour right here. After respecting this 5 minute gap, there's no reason for us to trade back up here, especially when our deal well is so near. ES is probably the same as well. Very bearish, disrespecting bullish, respecting bearish PDAs, moving lower and obviously seeking liquidity on the high time frames. So it would be obviously natural for NQ to at least come down to this low after retracing into a 5 minute gap. So yeah, not a bad trade. The only thing I would really say to improve on this is that our in terms of like this leg, we are in very premium price zone. So if we came up and had a discount, that would have been better, but it was just the fact that this drawn liquidity was so obvious that I was definitely just gonna get taken out eventually. So I'm okay trades. Could have been better, but I have pretty high conviction in it because of my DOL for the day, and that's what matters. So yeah. Right, anyway, I'll move on to the next day for you guys. Thursday. Let's go. So currently a winning week so far. Well, we had like 2 break evens, 1 green. Not bad. And of course one of them break evens would have been an absolute banger if we probably read the charts a little bit better on the 5 minute time frame, but you know, we move on from that. Got a 30-minute market open right here. Let's have a look at what we're doing on NQ on the 4 hour time frame. So NQ on the 4 hour, we seem to be delivering from the sell side liquidity sweep that we had yesterday from this low, tapping into a high time frame PDA and it inversing this gap. Therefore, this is definitely looking good for longs. It's just whether we have any PDAs for us to come back into in order to target like these bearish gaps up here. These bearish 4 hour DOLs. Like, these are nice stacked, low resistance liquidity as well. We have currently just inversed this gap, so. But I think with that we are definitely going to continue high after that sell side sweep. I do want to be bullish for today. We do have this 30-minute gap right here. And we are currently, no, we're not operating within that. Yeah, honestly not really much going on at all for longs. We have this 15-minute PD ray right here. And we have these, I mean, this is beautiful, this DOL. Like 4 hour gap above. And then we have like relatively equal highs right here. Like, in my opinion, it's pretty obvious that we are going to take these out or want to at least trade up to these highs. So let's see if we can get any sort of entry towards it. Oh my god, bro. Just about this low. Just no, like, high time frame support though, so I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens here. Tap into a 15-minute gap, sweep of a 5-minute intermediate high, and is that with an SMT? Not with an SMT. SMT at the 15-minute gap, obvious deal well below, obvious deal well above as well. Don't get me wrong, great displacement through this gap. This is an interesting one. SMT at the high as well. Oh, this made me saucy, you know, I'm not even lying. Do I take this? Stops at the high, this 15-minute swing high. 930 low below. Obvious deal well below. Operating within. We inverse at 4 hours. That's the only thing, man. We are in the hourly gap right here, but we inversed the 4 hour on the high time frame. What did we do in ES? Did we inverse that on ES as well? ES didn't even have a gap. ES didn't even have any high time frame support either, and isn't currently in a bullish SMT. Like, do I want to be trading against these equal lows? I don't know, man. I really don't know here. There isn't really a reason for us to trade back to this low. Like, I want to fade this. I just don't really like the look of this at all. Just in terms of high time frame narrow, it just looks so naff, bro. Wow. So we reswept this low, still not tapping at any sort of high time frame support. Would I likely have got break even on that trade anyway? Depends if you aim for the 930 lows or if you aim for this deal well down here. If you aim for this deal well down here, which I probably would have done, would have gone break even anyway. That's fine. I reckon we can chop and then we can tap or manipulate into some sort of gap. What the fuck, bro? No way we rip off from that. Seriously? Wow, oh my god. 15-minute down there. 15-minute gap right here. Clearly bullish. 1 hour time frame bullish. Equal lows above. I mean equal highs above, sorry. Tap into high time frame PDA right now. Wow. But now we've just printed LRL out of stop, bro. Have a 4-minute inverse regardless. 5-minute inverse even. Seem to be accumulating and I'll stop. Still don't like this. Yeah, just another no trade day. Like, this is probably the best setup, 100%. This short right here at 940 short. Start above this high. You could have TP'd at the 930 low, or at least a 1-to-1, but I would have probably targeted that deal well down here, which was a 30-minute intermediate gap, or unmitigated gap, sorry. So 30-minute unmitigated gap right there. Immediate 1-minute inverse, and I'm pretty sure that was the highest time frame inverse as well. Yep. Came up, tapped in with 15-minute PDA, unmitigated PDA with an SMT with ES, as well as sweeping 5-minute intermediate highs. Had a stop hunt at the high with a 1-minute SMT, this high right here, and then an inverse to the downside with 930 lows below, as well as our drawn liquidity. So yeah, this is definitely a trade that I should have likely have taken, but regardless, we probably wouldn't got a break even anyway. But yeah, it's just one of them things. I didn't really like the look of it. Why didn't I like the look of it? The idea that we had these stacked relatively equal highs above on the hourly time frame just made me want to be really bullish. And on top of that, because we displaced through a bearish gap after sweeping the sell side liquidity and tapping into a high time frame PDA, I obviously wanted longs. Like, I really wanted longs today. Inversing this gap, especially after sweeping sell side liquidity, is a great indicator that we're going to move higher, especially with a high time frame bullish SMT on ES. So the fact that even though we tapped in this 15-minute PDA, the idea that we had these hourly stacked relatively equal hourly highs above just made me really adamant of this being my DOL. Like, this was nowhere near as good as a DOL as our DOL up here. Therefore, if you were to take this trade, you're better off of going for that 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio to use this as a potential magnet, but not as your TP target, and therefore going for the low hanging fruit. But regardless, no trades for that day. Let's see what we do the next. 30-minute time frame. Let's mark out our market open. What did ES do? Right, let's have a look. So, looks like we're currently bearish again. Like, we moved higher. To be honest, we didn't really tap into any sort of PDAs to even continue lower. We just fucking went lower. We've got these stack draws right here. Let's see what we're doing on ES. ES is bullish. I mean, so well, looking more bullish. We're currently displacing through, I'm guessing, hourly PDAs here with an SMT at this low. Nah, there's no SMT at the low. But an SMT from this low up to this low, and then this low down to this low. So yeah, I think I want longs today, honestly. These equal highs are still really good targets. Got this 1 hour gap sitting right here, which could be easy for us to tap into. Stacked LR above, right here. And ES is in a bullish, high time in bullish SMT as well. So longs definitely looking pretty saucy here right now. But let's wait and see what we do. Taking out that high in one sweep. Still bullish. There's no like high time frame support for shorts here at all, and we've still got a nice DOL above. Like, I'm not really concerned about this right now, but need to wait and see what happens. I think a 5-minute con would be great. Just the idea that we took out these accumulation zone highs, I was expecting some sort of reaction from it. I mean, you could have probably longed here. Target up here. Just the fact that we took out this draw. Maybe I shouldn't have cared, but we'll see if we can get like some sort of 5-minute short. I mean 5-minute long, sorry. That would be pretty cool. But we'll see. We will see. I just hope it doesn't go without me and take out my DOL. Probably will, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh my god. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Fucking crazy. So we likely would have got break even on that first trade anyway. But crazy, honestly, crazy PA. We now have their lows below. Right here. Like, this generally just might be another trade, no trade day as well. We just did nothing. expecting a 5 minute gap. It might even be a 15. No, just a 5 minute. Three-minute inverse. Potentially, but in terms of targets, it'd be better if we could like accumulate a little bit, then got our inverse. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. Yeah, this just might be another trade, no trade day. Just our deal was already taken out for the day. Price is ripped up off market open. Just one of them things, man. I probably would have taken this like 5 minute con. But we disrespected the 5 minute anyway, so that doesn't matter. So the only valid trade for this for me today was came down, tapped into that hourly PDA right here, and then had an immediate 2 minute inverse with beautiful deal well above with these relatively equal hourly highs. Only issues with this trade is that we took out our accumulation zone highs from the rip, from the inverse. Therefore, we would have had a big R on our stop. We also had like a bit of low resistance liquidity here as well. But the idea that we took out this low resistance liquidity off market open makes me a little bit adamant of taking it anyway. Even if you aim for a 1-to-1 here, you probably would have gotten break even regardless. So I'm not really too bothered, but yeah. So boys, that's the week completed now. Honestly, August, I don't know if I'm just being really picky with my backtesting setups, but honestly, like I feel like August price action has generally just been crazy, like volatile as fuck, but not in a good way. Like it's generally just it's just all over the place. Like it's difficult to like my deal well's correct. So where I want to like for example, this Friday I want a price to go towards them hourly relatively equal highs, but what like these relatively hourly equal highs here, so my deal was correct. But then what did we do? We just bang ripped it out in like one candle, and like we can't even take execution points from that. But I suppose it's just one of them things. Maybe I'm being a little picky with my setups. I need to start taking more like discretionary setups, ones that I like the look of, and building my own discretion. But I'm only a month and a half into learning these models, and I am just trying to follow my rules, make sure like I'm doing the right thing, you know. But this is what these backtesting sessions are for. But anyway, let's look at the week. Anyway, let's look at the month. So I mean, look, like winning week. Like, what can I say? Like this month, we've lost one trade. Like we've literally lost one trade this whole month. Like break even, win, 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 break even, and a nice little win on the Wednesday. So overall, green week, undefeated week again. It is August price action has been a little interesting, but I think it's honestly just one of them things. But yeah, we'll see what the next week brings. I might try and do a little backtesting session tomorrow morning. I am away to Berlin over the weekend, so I won't be backtesting and I won't be doing any of these recordings. But yeah, if any of you guys are watching, thanks very much for sticking to the end. And I'll maybe see you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys Monday. So yeah, thanks very much.